I'm not threatening you. Say one more word, and that's 30 days. 30 days.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame with your boy TP. Today, we are back with another compilation video. Today, we will be sharing three different courtrooms, three different judges from our previous videos. And one of the reasons why we do this is because a lot of these proceedings that we're sharing through these compilation videos have been classic proceedings. Many of them, believe it or not, a lot of people haven't seen. Some of you have, and that's why we put the chapters in it. But just so you know, there will be a link in the description if you want to go check out some of the other compilation videos in our compilation playlist, because we've been really getting a lot of good feedback on these compilation videos. And I've been truly surprised at how many people haven't seen some of these proceedings, even though some of these cases go back a couple of years. But with that being said, I don't want to talk too long. Let me give you the rundown on whose courtroom, which judges' courtrooms we're going to be in, and then we'll go ahead and jump into these proceedings. First, we're going to be in the courtroom of Judge Tammy Long Hayward out of the state of Georgia. Second, we will be in the courtroom of Judge Erane C. Washington out of the state of Michigan. And last but not least, we will be in the courtroom of Judge Sean Perkins out of the state of Michigan. And guess what? All three of these, just like the other ones we shared, were some classic moments, some crazy moments, some funny moments, serious moments, but nonetheless, they were moments. But with that being said, we're going to get ready to jump into these proceedings. There will be no commentary at the end. Chapters will be added for those of you that want to jump around like crisscross. With that being said, guys, I thank you. I appreciate you. God bless you. Like, subscribe, share. It is much appreciated. Let's go ahead and jump into these proceedings.
Mr. Resto. So Mr. Resto, you have two cases. You have case number. You hear me?
Yes, okay. I hear you.
So you're before the court on 2019 CR 04954 for driving on a suspended or revoked license, no license, failure to display license, or failure to have license on person. I'm not sure, it cuts off, and no tag or expired or invalid tag. So that's on the first case. On the case from 2020 03114, you have a suspended or revoked license. You're represented by Lister and Holt on one of the cases, but not on the other. Did you want Lister and Holt to represent you, or did you want to represent yourself?
I'll represent myself.
On both cases?
Yes, ma'am. I have a quick question as far as locker term when it comes to driver's license.
Okay.
Okay, you're only allowed to have one driver's license, and I have an Alabama driver's license. So when I get pulled over, I actually showed them my Alabama driver's license, and it's current. It's the most current, and so they make a determination if they should go off the Georgia driver's license or the Alabama driver's license. And when I present the Alabama driver's license, they let me go because my Alabama license is valid, and you're only allowed to have one. And I had Alabama license first. So
I believe this sounds like a not guilty.
Okay, so Mr. Resto, what Mr. Taylor is saying is this is something that you could prove at trial. If you present that information at trial, then that means you want to go to trial instead of taking a plea. I don't know what the recommendation is, and I don't know.
Well, the recommendation was, I think I've been dealing with this case for an awful long time now, so yeah. I don't really want to go to trial. I just want to get it behind me. But I think that I remember the recommendation quite clear. They offered me 40 hours of community service. Is that still on the table?
Okay, no, Mr. Resto, it's more than that. So let me explain why I know it's more than that. So the basic fines and fees for driving on a suspended license is the first time in 5 years. If you get one, then you can enter a NOLO plea if you have a NOLO plea eligible to you. And then the fine is $500. But if you get a second one, the fine goes to $1,000. A third one, the fine goes to $1,500 and 10 days mandatory jail time. You have a second one, which means that you might be able to enter a NOLO to the first one, but then the second one is outstanding. So when you took a plea to the second one, that would definitely suspend your license. So that's what's on the table.
Okay.
And the fines are hefty. So you would get a plea on the first one, and that's a $500 fine, which is $737.50. But the next one is going to be $1,000 in addition to that, and that's $1,420. So we're looking at almost $2,200.
Your Honor, is Mr. Resto represented on the particular case that we're referring to?
Well,
I
I
want to
don't
address
know.
him directly if he's
So-
represented, because this is a serious matter.
I get you. So that's why I'm saying, Mr. Resto, you have representation. I can allow you to be represented on both cases, and they can help you work this out. But understand
Well,
that
I was already represented by Lister and Holt, and we kind of been going back and forth with the district attorney's office for a while, and they've been giving me recommendations, and I still didn't take it, but they've been giving me recommendations. I don't know what's changed, but it definitely wasn't $2,000.
talk to your attorney and let them tell you what the recommendation they have on the table, okay? Because the recommendation, if you're represented, even if you're only represented on one case, the rec is probably going to come to your attorney.
Okay, now if I enter like an oral motion of dismissal based on constitutional grounds, are you standing on your constitutional oath?
Okay, I'm not sure what that is. So I have taken an oath to uphold the Constitution and to make sure that I treat people as the law would direct me to do so. So,
okay. Well, I asked this question previously when I was in your courtroom one day in regards to the right to travel under the 14th Amendment, stating that citizens do not need a permit to travel with a horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile without interference by police. And I was on a public highway actually when I got pulled over.
Okay, so that's not actually in the Constitution.
And
So
I don't
right
believe
to travel,
automobiles
right
were
to travel.
around when the 14th Amendment was ratified.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Taylor.
I just wanted to point out to the court that automobiles hadn't been invented when the 14th Amendment was ratified. That
Yeah,
may
it says automobile, horse-drawn wagon, or carriage.
Okay,
So an automobile is not necessarily a car if it's a household good. It's just a form of transportation. It doesn't matter if it's an automobile, horse-drawn wagon, or carriage, because it's still a form of transportation, and citizens have the right to travel without interference by police. So I don't even know how the police are even allowed to interfere with travel when I'm not using my vehicle for commerce.
Your Honor,
and it's
Hold on, Mr.
totally
Taylor.
private household good.
Okay, so Mr. Resto, if somebody drove 100 miles an hour into the back of your vehicle and killed your a family member, would you want the police to interfere?
That's a murder. I mean, that's if someone got killed.
But they're traveling. You can't interfere with somebody traveling.
No, I mean you can't. It's stating that a police just can't interfere with your traveling, like pulling you over for a traffic violation or a tag.
But you want them to interfere if somebody.
Now, if you murder somebody because
say you don't murder them. Say you just hurt them. Say you just damaged the vehicle. You don't want the police to interfere.
No, that's when it almost becomes like an accident or a crime or whatnot. So the police can. That's not really an interference. An interference with your traveling, not an interference when two citizens engage in an accident. It's interfering with you just traveling. Now, police officers, as far as public servants, they have a duty to serve to the people. So if a car accident occurs, then of course public servants, as far as ambulance, as far as firemen, they will come to the scene just as a service. But for you to just interfere in my traveling is actually a violation of the Constitution.
Well, sir, the Constitution and the cases that have come out of the constitutional jurisprudence allow cities and states and municipal organizations to regulate travel for the benefit of the citizens. So they can put reasonable regulations on travel, meaning they can you can have a license. They can grant you the privilege of having a license to drive. They can regulate how your license is seen. If you don't have a license, or if your license is suspended, they can intervene to take your license away or your privilege to drive away. It is a crime. You can be convicted of not driving under a proper license. So the government is allowed to intervene in a lot of ways with people traveling. So I'm not sure where this information comes from, but there's a lot of stuff on the internet about traveling and the 14th Amendment and horse and buggies and even maritime law. But
I mean,
an
automobile was actually created before a driver's license was ever created. So people was actually operating their case pamphlets where people was actually operating vehicles before a driver's license ever became. That's actually, you guys are actually a conflict of interest, actually, as far as you being in cahoots with the DMV. That's a totally separate entity.
Okay,
and for
so
some
Mr.
reason,
Resto, do you want to resolve the case? Because it's not
I want to resolve the
40
case.
hours.
I disagree with the fine amount because it changed. I would I would make an offer like I can do $1,000, maybe 12-month probation.
Mr.
But $2,000, that's excessive.
Mr. Resto, we're not negotiating. Those are statutory fines, meaning they're written into the law. I can't even change them.
Can I make a counter offer to the state and say it's $1,000? Can I be?
No,
because I did do
sir.
time in jail. If the state would see that and count.
That's why I'm saying that you may want to speak with an attorney, because certain things that they can negotiate, I can't change the statute. I can't change what's written in it, but they can negotiate. And if the solicitor wants to give you credit for time in jail in lieu of the fine, those are things that they can do that I can't do.
Yeah. So I would ask to the district attorney, knowing that I did serve some days in jail, can you guys lower the fine and I just go ahead and end this case right now? I can do $1,000. I got $1,000 right now.
Mr. Resto, so that's a conversation that you need to have with them directly without me being present, number one. Number two, the reason I keep saying you might want to go through your attorney is because they can explain to you what is already on the table and how that may or may not change, okay?
What's on the table now?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I would rather you have that conversation in a breakout room with the attorney who's assigned to your case and with the state, as opposed to here in the main room. One, because I have other cases that need to be addressed, and two, because that's not information I need to hear.
Okay, is it anything I can do to get this case resolved now? Because it's been lingering on.
I'm telling you what to do, but you're not listening, Mr. Resto.
I mean, today, I want to resolve this today.
I get that you want to resolve it today, and I'm telling you what to do, but you're not listening to me. I said you can go into a breakout room with your attorney, and the attorney and you can discuss what's already on the table. And then if your attorney wishes to speak with the state to clarify anything, they can do that too. But you're not going to get it resolved by going back and forth with me, because there's stuff I cannot do.
Okay. Just tell the state that I'll take their recommendation. I'll just pay the $2,000 if they can give me 12 months to pay it off. And if I pay it off early, if my probation can be terminated, that would be great.
Sorry, I was discussing with Mr. Resto, and I understand something changed about his bond.
Okay. He has bonds with 2 bondsmen. I don't know of anything. Does he have, did somebody come off a bond?
Your Honor, maybe I can address that question.
Okay.
Mr. Resto, our office filed a motion to revoke bond, and that motion was granted a rule nisi, and it was calendared. That motion didn't happen because of the pandemic. It was, I believe, scheduled to happen in 2021, maybe February, but somewhere about that time. I informed Mr. Kamani to inform his client that depending on the outcome of today's arraignment, the state intends to move forward on that bond revocation. Your Honor, may I make a request on that matter?
Sure, Mr. Taylor.
I'd request that the defendant does show in person for him. Zoom court is or remote appearance is not sufficient.
So it's my understanding that you and Mr. Castaneda have parted ways with respect to your case.
Yeah. Did he file a motion to withdraw?
Yeah. Did you want to go forward without an attorney representing yourself?
Yeah, it seems like the attorneys that the state appoints me, they have a very hard time of like listening to their clients, like what they have to say. Like I had a conversation with him for like maybe 5 minutes, and he was very like wanted to do what he wanted to do. He didn't want to hear what I had, or he was just telling me like I was raising concerns about the state came off of my bond, and I was trying to figure out why they came off of my bond when I show up for court. I gave him no reason to come off my bond. And he said,
so when you say come off your bond, the bonding company has to do that, not the state. So I'm not sure. Like,
well, they filed a motion to come off my bond. That's what he stated.
Okay, is that Free at Last or Atlanta Clayton bonding?
No, not Free at Last.
I have that you.
He stated that the state filed a motion with your court stating that they wanted to come off my bond to where basically I will have warrant on me.
Okay. Miss John VA, do you have any outstanding bench warrants for Mr. Resto? I don't recall signing any, but I may have.
Did the state file any motions in regards to
that? No.
Okay, I did. So just Your Honor, I didn't know that he was back. I'd already given the file to my assistant. She said she had just sent off the bench warrant to you as well, I think. So
I didn't think.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, Mr. Resto, you're here. So I haven't signed anything yet.
Okay. Does the state have any intentions on trying to come off my bond?
No. So, sir, they don't come off your bond unless you fail to appear. My understanding is you had a medical excuse for being late today. So you contacted
I'm actually still at the hospital. I just had a minor surgery.
Okay. So Ms. Val has allowed you to come on to the call today because she knew that you had a medical issue. So we can deal with your case today, or we can give you a continuance until December 6th, but nobody's coming off the bond and the bench warrant will not be signed.
Okay. I want to handle this today. It's kind of been lingering over my head for some years now. I'm really tired of it. And but I hear that the state is trying to like give me like 10 days in jail, and that would like absolutely ruin my business, my life. So I have a 2-year-old son. I'm a single father. Yeah, but see, Judge, in my situation is okay, I got the documentation from the Alabama motor vehicle department. See, okay. I'm actually an Alabama citizen.
Hold on, I was traveling. Hold on. Let me put you in a breakout room with me and the state so we can hear what you're saying, but we're not putting it all out there in case you want to make a different decision, okay?
Okay. Well, I have no absolute reason to lie, and I really believe that.
No, it's not that, sir. This is what I would do if you had an attorney who was representing you, okay? So this is called a pre.
Yeah, but I just honestly believe that when you're just being truthful, there's really no need for attorneys when you're just being honest about your situation.
Next is Mr. Resto. Mr. Castaneda was fired by Mr. Resto, so he's no longer counsel of record. Mr. Resto is wanted, and there is no surety on that. Does the state have there's no surety order on that? Does the state have a request in the Resto case?
Mr. Resto, yes, state would definitely request a rule absolute on that matter.
Okay, on both cases, rule absolute will be granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, the court will call the matter of the Township of Ypsilanti versus Shannon Phillips, 24W001656.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
Assistant Public Defender Davi Lebo on behalf of Ms. Phillips. Your Honor, when I did speak to Ms. Phillips yesterday, she advised me that she did not want to be represented by the Public Defender's Office. Ms. Phillips, could you say your name, ma'am?
Ms. Phillips, please state your name.
Yes. Shannon Phillips, the natural woman. On the
Okay,
record
we
and for
are
the
here.
record, and let the record reflect. Can you guys hear me?
Very
It's saying I
loudly.
have an unstable connection. Okay. Just making sure.
So on October 9th, defendant was found in contempt of court. So that still stands, ma'am. You can choose not to have counsel if you want, but you need to understand that you can get up to 90 days on the contempt of court matter. Do you understand that?
I do not understand any charges. I only understand universal law and the right to live in peace and to live as I intend to.
But given that she doesn't understand,
Was never let in, just like now. But I obviously, I guess it took a minute. You administering the trust without consent?
I'm not going to be.
I'm having a bad connection. It's going in
I'm
and out.
not
I'm
going to
not
be
hearing nothing
releasing
you
the
all are
public
saying.
defender's office from this case because I don't think she fully understands the consequences of her actions, and so she will continue to have the public defender.
I don't
Thank you,
need a public defender, Judge Washington.
Ma'am, I asked you a simple question and you did not answer the question in a way that makes me feel comfortable that you don't understand that you understand the laws of the state.
You all are speaking legalese. You all are speaking legalese. For me to say I understand the charges gives you all permission to administer the trust.
Okay.
I don't understand the charges.
Which is why you will not.
And I do not need counsel. I don't need representation.
Your request is denied, ma'am. You will have representation. All right. Mr. Lebo, do you know what your client wants to do?
Oh my goodness. This is
the charges?
You cannot make me have an attorney.
Well, actually, I can, ma'am.
Like, this is insane.
Well, I don't think it's me that's being insane.
I can handle my own affairs. I don't need your public defender. All I'm trying to do is get the case settled. That's all. This has been going on for so long. A waste of time and money, honestly.
Mr. Barnett, is there an offer?
There is an offer for the civil infraction and expired plate.
Your Honor, I'd be happy to go into a break-in with Ms. Phillips and explain that to her.
Right. I will let you do that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Traffic
second.
infractions are not a crime.
What will we call the matter of Ypsilanti Township versus Shannon Phillips, case number 24W001656?
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
Assistant Public Defender Davi Liebe on behalf of Ms. Phillips. Ms. Phillips, could you unmute and state your name, ma'am?
You have to unmute, ma'am.
Shannon Phillips, the natural woman.
Lebo, where are we with this, please?
Your Honor, I did have a discussion with Ms. Phillips. I did attempt to explain the importance of representation, why the court has asked that she have an attorney in this matter, as well as conveyed Mr. Barnett's offer. Ms. Phillips indicated to me that she still opposes having an attorney. Additionally, indicated to me that she is not at this time wanting to accept the offer of an expired plate.
Well, I think the offer was for a civil infraction of something different.
I believe was the civil plate infraction.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
It's improper plate.
What was the offer again, Mr. Barnett?
It was the civil infraction of having an expired plate.
All right, thank you. And not the criminal, not the
Correct.
criminal infraction. Okay. So, Ms. Phillips, that's correct. You're rejecting that offer.
The offer of what? He didn't offer anything.
Ms. Phillips, he just told you that he's offering.
Am I not hearing something?
He just told you that he's offering you the civil infraction of expired plate as opposed to the criminal offense of expired plate. One carries
okay, but according to the Supreme Court, traffic infractions are not a crime. The People versus Battle. So what criminal infraction? And I would just like for the case to be dismissed. One, because your who was it, Officer Hannah, and 3 more officers were surrounding my vehicle, pulling my door handles, threatening to pull me out of my vehicle.
Ms. Phillips, I'm going to advise
I don't
you
even
not
have the
discuss
vehicle
it further.
anymore.
Ms. Phillips, I'll take that as a rejection of the offer.
Okay, so what's the offer? I didn't tell him anything.
Mr. Lebo.
Right, y'all just hate to hear the truth. Y'all just want to do what y'all want to do.
Ma'am, if you don't stop yelling out in court, you've already been held in contempt before. I'm going to hold you in contempt and give you 10 days in jail. Do you understand? Mr. Lebo, do you know what your client would want to do?
I do not, Your Honor. I did have a discussion with her, but she did not convey to me a desire to participate in that conversation.
All right. Then if she's not telling you, I will set it for a trial date.
Ms. Phillips, Your Honor, I would perhaps ask the court to consider a competency referral.
Nothing is wrong with me, you all. I am perfectly fine. I can handle my own affairs. Nothing is wrong with me.
I see you're doing so well so far. You're almost going to jail on a traffic offense.
And I do want to know that I did attempt to explain to Ms. Phillips why her understanding of the case law regarding traffic offenses was inaccurate, but that was not a productive conversation.
I could see why it wasn't productive. So I don't know that she meets the level of incompetence to the standard that you're indicating. That if you want a referral, because you've talked to her and that's where you are, I will refer her for a competency. If she doesn't participate in that, then she'll be found in contempt or have to go to jail to get it done. So her behavior here today is obviously taking her down a very dark path. Hopefully she can change her mind and do something appropriate. So you either want to have a trial, ma'am, or you want to actually accept an offer. So those are your options.
could take it to trial. We could take it to trial. We could take it to trial. We could take it to trial.
I heard you when you said it the second time.
Okay, well, my screen is saying bad connection, so I'm not sure.
Your Honor, perhaps we could adjourn this pretrial and set trial, and I couldn't attempt to discuss with Ms. Phillips a little bit further in the interim time.
All right, because if she goes to trial and she's unsuccessful, it would be treated like any other criminal matter. So, ma'am, you do understand that you could get up to 90 days in the Washington County Jail, correct?
I hear you.
All right. Retrial will be adjourned to January 8th, 2025 at 10 o'clock a.m. I'm sorry, 9 a.m. Do you have her contact information so you can talk to her so she fully gets what's going on here?
I do, Your Honor, and I would just ask the court if the court could repeat the pretrial date.
I'm sorry, repeat it. January 8th at 9
Thank you, Your Honor.
a.m. Ms. Phillips, we'll see you back here on that date, ma'am.
On James Garner, do you see all the cases he has?
I see just the 4 that are on the docket, or 5.
Yes.
You've got more?
He's got plenty more.
Okay.
Mr. Garner, do you want to offer on these or do you want to go to trial?
I would like to know what the charges are.
Okay. This is the city of Detroit versus James Earl Garner. Case number SP 11000435, counts 1, 2, and 3. SP 11695. Those are driving license expired. Misdemeanor, no insurance, insurance misdemeanor. Thank you. And an improper plate misdemeanor. All of them punishable by maximum possible penalty of 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. SP 1169507, counts 1 and counts 2, expired license and no insurance misdemeanor, both punishable by 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. SP 1169521, same improper plates, same punishment, $500 in 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines, maximum possible penalty. SP 1223079, driver license suspended. SP 1273761, SP 1292751. 3 of those tickets are all punishable by 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. SP 1547006, counts 1, counts 2, and counts 3. Those are civil infractions. SP 1547407, counts 1 and counts 2. Count 1 being a driver license suspended repeat offender. This one is in warrant status, probably an old case that he didn't pay. SP 800104, counts 1 and counts 2. 1 being an unregistered untitled. He owes $1,194 on that. And SP and count 2 of that is a drove while license improper. It looks like he has a $114 fine on that. State of Michigan versus James Earl Garner, case number SX 36268561. That is a drove while license expired. And that will be $500 maximum possible penalty, 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. Appearance for the record, please.
Sherika Harris on behalf of Mr. Garner. Mr. Garner, please state your name for the record.
First off, I do have a couple.
You got to state your name first. You got to state your name first.
No,
Let's start there.
I think, wait a minute, Ms. Harris. Wait a minute, Ms. Harris. I think Mr. Garner is going to represent himself. Am I correct, Mr. Garner?
I'm representing myself in what? I mean,
Oh,
I'm confused about what's actually going on. First off, who's alleging these charges? That's what I'm curious about.
State of Michigan, City of Detroit.
Okay, well, if that's the case, there's a common law principle which states that for there to be a crime, there must be a victim. Corpus delicti. The state cannot be the injured party. And in the absence of a victim, there can be no crime.
We want to do
withdrawing my name from the record on that one. Thank you.
I know. How do you want to proceed, Mr. Garner? You set the matter. I'll enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. Give him a $0 bond. Either set the matter for trial or I'll wait for the city to give you an offer. What do you want to do?
Well, the court haven't even established jurisdiction. I mean, in order for jurisdiction, the jurisdiction has to be established first, and there's no jurisdiction established. And once jurisdiction is challenged, that must be settled before charges can be brought.
All right. Do you want to put that in a motion, sir?
As far as I'm concerned, any and all charges must be dismissed because there is no complaining witness, and the state cannot be.
I'm not gonna listen. If that's your motion, I'm gonna deny the motion. Okay. So all we're gonna do now, we're not gonna keep going back and forth. Either you take an offer or you set the matter for trial. Which one do you want?
Respectfully, in order for this to continue, there must be a complaining witness, and the state cannot be a complaining witness. Now, if I'm entitled to a fair trial, the law states there must be a victim. I'm just requesting, who is the victim? Who did I injure?
The citizens of the city of Detroit and the state of Michigan are the victims.
The state cannot be a victim. And if that's the case,
I said the citizens of the city of Detroit and the state of Michigan are the victims.
Mr. Garner, can we just go into a breakout room and then maybe I can give you a little bit of advice to assist you with moving forward? Would you be agreeable to that?
Sure.
Okay, awesome.
All right, are we ready on Garner?
I believe he's ready, Your Honor. He's representing himself.
Let's go back on the record with Garner. What do you want to do, Mr. Garner? Do you want a trial date or you want an offer? Those are really your only two options.
Okay, since we are on the record, all I'm asking for is the
Okay, one last time. Now listen, here's how it's gonna go from this point on. If you don't answer the question that I asked specifically, then I'm gonna hold you in contempt of court and we're gonna move from that point on, right? Get up, Mr. Raymond.
So you're telling me,
Mr. Garner. We're not going to have a conversation. Stop, sir. Stop, sir. Now, that's the last time I'm going to ask you to speak
on the law. Is that what I'm hearing?
All right.
I'm asking.
I'm going to hold Mr. Garner in contempt of court. He is directly violating the court's order. I've asked him repeatedly to not interfere or add any extra commentary to this case. I've given him ample time to answer the court's question, and he continues to refuse to do so. So now I'm going to hold you in contempt, and I'm going to sentence you to 30 days Wayne County Jail. No early release.
So that means that the court is just going to violate my rights because I'm defending myself? Is that what I'm hearing?
30 days, Wayne County Jail, no early release. That'll give you some chance and some time to read up on your rights, okay? Fill out the contempt papers, Madam And so I'm gonna order you to turn yourself in today, Mr. Garner, to start that jail time, okay?
So I have a question.
I'm not answering any more of your questions. Turn yourself in to the Wayne County Jail today.
So the court is going to be in direct violation of my rights in the law. Is that where we're standing?
If that's how you feel. Have a good day, sir.
I'm not threatening you. Say one more word and that's 30 days. 30 days.